Hi. Hi, I'm Debbie, and I want to share some tips with you about how to buy a scooter and things that maybe you should consider. Now, first of all, buying a scooter is pretty complicated these days because it's like buying a car. You have so many features and models and types, and you don't know where to begin, or or what would be good for you or what wouldn't be good for you. So, first of all, what I want to talk about is my needs. My scooter here is a pretty rugged scooter. When I purchased this, I purchased with it in mind that I would be using it outdoors a lot. I'm camping right now. I'm at Canyon Point Campground in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest here in Arizona, and you can see the terrain is rather rugged. So this particular scooter, because of the wheels and it's more of a heavyweight, is able to go over gravel, dirt, you can see rocky terrain, grass. When I'm at home, even in my own house and home environment, I could go in my yard, I could go over gravel, and it's very easy for me to go up and down the rolling curves as I go into the street and so forth. Now, this particular model that I have is called a Ranger. The manufacturer is Ranger, the model is a Safari. It is manufactured here in the United States, and actually there are only three companies that make mobility scooters that are manufactured here in the U.S. One is Ranger, like what I have. The second one is Amigo, and the third one is Paysaver Plus, made by Leisureland. All the rest of the ones are made overseas. Now, the difference is, the ones that are made in America, they're more money. You will pay more for them, but the quality is much, much higher. So a lot of times you might see a scooter advertised for $1,000 or whatever, and believe me, you will get what you pay for. This particular scooter is 15 years old. You can see it's really pretty beat up, but it's still running. I have a second scooter at home. I bought, it's a sleeker looking model, it's updated, and whenever I go into nicer places, I take that one with me. Now, in terms of consideration, this model, I am a lightweight. I am not a heavy person. This model is built for somebody up to 250 pounds. So I go about 125 pounds, and so therefore it's going to give me additional distance. I could load this scooter up with cargo. I do take it to the grocery store. I have a lot of floor room in the front. I move my leg over and I can put bags, a lot of bags here and in my basket, and still be able to go at a pretty good speed. This scooter goes about 4.5 miles per hour. Some scooters don't go this fast. This particular model scooter has 2 batteries. They're 12-volt batteries. Sometimes they go by a number U-1, gel cell batteries. When you have 2 batteries, you get more distance. With this model, I get anywhere between 15 and 20 miles at a time without charging it. And again, there's some variation depending on the weight of the person using it, what kind of terrain you're on. If you're on flat terrain all the time, you will get more mileage out of it. But with the 2 batteries, you get more mileage. If you're on a smaller scooter, smaller scale that just has 1 battery, that mileage is probably cut in half. It probably will go down to about 9 miles, 8 miles, if that. Okay, so again, it comes back to the need. What do you need it for? If you're going to be using it just to go to shopping malls and be inside all the time, maybe a lighter weight version, a smaller weight version with a single battery would be, better for you. Okay, now to talk about some of the features, come up here a little bit. When you're buying a scooter, okay, one of the first things is, let's talk about wheels, since I was talking about going the distance and going over the rugged terrain and so forth. These wheels, of course, the tread is worn down a lot, but they had a much thicker tread. They're very safe. They won't slip. They won't skid. The other thing is, a lot of times, and you have to be careful when you buy a scooter, they'll come with what they call pneumatic wheels, or like a car tire that has air in them. I paid a little bit more to have foam filled tires, in other words solid tires, because if I run over a nail, I run over a needle, I run over a piece of glass, I don't want to get a flat tire. Now the pneumatic wheels, they say, give you a little bit of a softer ride. I really don't notice that much difference, so I opt to go and get the solid wheel. The second thing, when you're considering a scooter, which is very important, is the seat. Okay, now the seat, this particular seat has 4 different adjustments to go higher or lower. And that's very important depending on the type of body that you have, because you actually should have the seat in a position that's low as possible where your feet are resting comfortably on the floor of the scooter. You don't want to have your knees high up, or you don't want to have the seat so far as your legs dangle. Okay, you want them to rest comfortably on the floor. So there are 4 seat adjustments. Now most of the time you get a choice between whether you want an upholstery seat or whether you want a leather seat. I've always enjoyed the upholstery seats more because for me I feel they're more comfortable. I don't stick to them, especially in the heat of the summer. If it's a leather seat, I have a tendency to stick to them, and leather gets hot. I'm in the sun right now, and these arms, these are leather, they start to heat up after a while. So the upholstery is, it is cooler, and I don't have any problem sliding on and off. Some people like the leather because they say they can slide off a little easier to get in and out of the scooter. For me, I don't worry about that. The next thing to think about, sometimes you can get an accessory. In my earlier days when I just used my scooter part-time, I would use a cane and just get into my scooter for longer distances. You can get a cane holder that's attached to the back. This one had a cane holder, it came with it. Just merely took it off because I don't use it anymore. The seat folds down, and I will be making another video to show how to break apart a scooter and put it in your car, and we have a lift. But for purposes right now, I'll just state the fact that this scooter breaks down into 5 separate pieces. The weight of the scooter without the batteries is 95 pounds total. Each battery, if it's probably 15 pounds, your total weight is probably 125 pounds, 130 pounds. So if you're breaking down the scooter, to say pick it up manually and put it in your car, the heaviest portion is going to be this back end. And if you take the batteries off, it's not so bad to pick it up and put it in the car. All right, again, I'll be making another video to demonstrate that. The other thing, okay, this when we're talking about seats, these arms go up and down very easily. That helps to go getting in and out of your seat. And finally, on this scooter, there is a release here. I push the release and it'll turn. Now the nice thing about that, I'm up against the picnic table here. And if I want to sit at the table like with everybody else and not have the scooter get in the way, I could just merely turn this and sit at the table. And again, there's several positions that you can use to turn it all the way around or simply go back. Automatic locks. Now, the tiller, make sure the tiller has several positions that it can lock. Again, it's a matter of comfort. I like the tiller to be relatively close to me, so my arms are short so I don't have to extend them too far. Should I back up a little bit? And this is comfortable for me. Now on the, well, here, I don't know, Dan, maybe you could focus in on the control panel here. Can you zoom in a little bit on the control panel? Okay, I have a battery charger on here. Not all scooters come with that. It will show you in the green zone that I have a lot of battery power here. When it starts, the needle starts going down and going into the red zone, that means I better head for the charger because I'm getting low on juice. There's a governor here to tell me I can regulate how fast I go. When I have it turned all the way up again, I get 4.5 miles per hour out of this scooter. Again, it varies by style, by model, or I could turn it low if I want to go slower. If I go backwards, automatically it's built into the scooter that it goes half the speed. I have a horn, the key that turns on and off. This particular sub of the scooters do come with lights. I don't have a light on this. I really don't care. If I do go out at night, I just use a flashlight or something like that. But it is an option that you can buy. This scooter also comes with a basket. These are nice. Not all scooters don't have this. This scooter basket folds up and out. Many scooters come with the standard round basket that you just put on. It doesn't collapse. And I've had people actually stop and ask me, gee, where did you get this? Because this isn't an option that's available for a lot of the makes and models. And your speed controls. Okay, forward, this lever here. To go backward, you push this lever here. All right. Okay, one last thing. This little gadget right here, which the battery's low on right now, is something that I added later. It's one of those little bicycle, I used to call them odometers in the old age, but it will keep track of the mileage that you used, how fast you're going, the temperature, and it gives a whole bunch of fun little things to do, and you can calibrate it to the wheel on your scooter. But again, it was an add-on that I put on later. It's not showing up very well because, like I said, I need a new battery. The final thing I wanted to add about this scooter, then you may want to back up a little bit, is, and this is pretty important too, the clearance. A lot of scooters, especially the cheaper models, they don't have as much high clearance. And that could be a really problem because it's not a problem if you're in shopping malls all the time or in the level all the time. But if you are on a surface that is a little bit bumpy or whatever, if that clearance is very low, you will get stuck. If you think you're going to try to go over a 1-inch curb or a 2-inch curb, and you try it, and if you have a pretty low clearance, you will get stuck. Okay, and then you're going to have somebody come and unstick you, so to speak. It's happened to me, even with this. I sometimes try to go over rocks and I shouldn't. Okie doke. Now, let's talk